just really trying to get to the full screen to work properly. There we go. What? Why did you do that now?
Were you halfway through an add a girl?
No.
For your computer? Add a girl.
Clever girl. It's a raptor?
Why, thank you, computer screen.
I tell you what. Waiting for broadcast.
What was the word we were There's a word that I always think is a funny thing to imagine being someone's name in a southern accent, and now I've forgotten what it is. Oh, yeah. SARS reminded me. It's hubris. The word hubris to me just sounds like it should be like a hillbilly name. Hubris!
Well, that's also kind of funny because
you have some explaining to do to your mother, hubris.
You know why that's in your head? Because you're thinking of Eunice. And you've got it in the back of your head from Mama's Family.
Wow. It's pretty far back if that's the case.
That's it. It's like right in there. It's just like Eunice.
All right. I think we're back in live. I'm waiting on YouTube to catch what's going on.
Great timing. Great timing if that's the case.
Oh, it's definitely leaning in on the Eunice.
Eunice!
Which
we have to be careful because it could sound like Unix, and then there's a whole other story. First, we're talking about giant packages.
This would be a really bad time to go back online.
Yeah, exactly.
I just realized we're just live anyway. But we're not running on the same stream.
How long have we been live?
Oh, probably.
Boy, it really makes me wish our banter was more interesting.
Hey everyone, we run a professional show.
He says hello.
We are professional.
Geez, this is embarrassing because that broke bad, and the reason it broke is even worse. So, and like my full screen doesn't want to work properly here.
Revenge of the Flora.
It's because of Jay's terrible choice.
Yeah.
Your number one is way more impressive than my number one, Tom.
You don't know what my number one is.
I know your number one.
You might be very surprised.
I might be. You're technically going to say like the PIM particle tank and not PIM particle tank?
Apparently we're just choppy as all heck, but I think I get that. And I'm going to go back to old OBS, I think, for this. All right. So, Jay, your number one was Flora Colossal.
Yeah, let's not be mean to trees right now and stay on the air. Obviously, floras are oppressive. Like, I'm sure... Tom played against...
Yeah, they just shut down my computer.
They just hacked us.
Yeah. Tom, how many floras did Chris Stockhouse have when you played him at that the Canada Cup that you won? Sorry, the second Canada Cup that you won. Sorry. Like 7 or some nonsense. That's just... Yeah, and like... Cosmic is already good enough. It doesn't need fluff, but then again, now we have Brainiac. Yeah, I understand how oppressive floras are, and I've only come to be into floras more recently. But I've pretty much been on Cosmic since it's been a thing, so I can't really ignore floras. But also, by the same note, I can't ignore Groot, and I have to not ignore the one Fast Forces figure that mattered, which is Rusty, because Rusty is the best.
There you go. That's your real number one.
Yeah, Rusty.
Right. No one's hacking Rusty.
Oh, that Rusty.
All right, Tom, I'll let you take your next number one because I'm really trying to fix some stuff on the screen right now.
Well, I really struggled with figuring out what my most missed piece would be. What could it possibly be? What will I miss?
So long and tanks for all the fish.
I will remember you. Will you remember me?
Wow. I can't tell what's worse.
Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory.
This will do for now.
Oh.
Just burn it. Just burn it.
I'm sorry, Tank. I will forever make teams 292 points, and I will think only of you.
Until the next thing.
Anyway, who else has something to say?
All right, Mike.
I think you'd be surprised by my number one.
Is it the Tank?
No, it's been a while actually since I've played this figure, but it will always have a special place in my heart.
Oh, I
It
think I know what it
helped
is.
take
Oh, no.
me to a provincial championship,
Damn it! Yours is
Oh.
mine too.
No,
and also known as the automatic induction into Canadian citizenship, Al Jordan.
Hmm.
I love you, mad respect, Al Jordan.
Took my number
You were
one,
my
too.
guy. He was the last figure I had left on that team, running away from a was it a Shredder clone? I think it was.
It was a Shredder clone of the Rat King.
No, Rat King was long dead at that point. It was a
Was he?
Shredder versus
Okay.
Al Jordan, and Al Jordan kept running and shrinking and then making himself a giant and all kinds of fun stuff. It was great. I love that figure. Especially sad because he has ruler keyword, and there's so many great rulers right now who could use a buddy like Al Jordan with the +2. So big shout out to you, Al. It's been a while since I played you, but you took me a lot of great places.
you never had a
Big
friend
Al.
like him.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Blah.
Oddly enough, Al Jordan helped me win a provincial as well, which is why he was my number one. It was a Quebec provincial I won with him, along with Devil Dinosaur, which shows you how long ago I played with him.
Right.
And of course, because he became a bit of a Canadian Heroclix symbol, we just kind of rolled with it.
But
We
it's
say
different.
Canadian Heroclix symbol. He's an Ontario Heroclix symbol. Let's not kid ourselves. I don't think anybody else in another part of Canada was really using him.
I think Carlos was using him that same provincials.
Oh
Was
yeah.
he?
All right.
I
Well,
think
then there
he
you
was
go.
Mystical with Jakeem. I think he was.
Yeah, that's why it became the thing, because all of
Yeah.
a sudden there was multiple people in Canada who's
Yeah.
actually using Al Jordan. That's why it became a thing.
All right. So that's what we're gonna miss. What we're not gonna miss in Heroclix with the upcoming rotation.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure we
If I-
all kind. What's that?
I was going to say, if I may take the floor
Take it.
for
It's all
tw-
yours. I
for
hate
20
this floor
seconds
already.
or more. The one thing that we didn't mention at all, besides kind of mentioning in passing, was the fact that ID cards were rotating. We did mention it, but we didn't dwell a lot on the ID card piece. And I had a bit of an epiphany as I was driving home today when I realized that even though I've been playing this game for quite some time, like I got into the game during that dead period between Secret Invasion and then the original WizKids went under and there was none for a
Hammer of
while.
Thor.
Yeah, it was in that period, the gap, that I got into the game in the first place. Great timing. And so I've been playing for a long time, but I've only really been seriously taking the competitive scene I've been really devoting myself to the competitive scene since I hooked up with Jason and Mike Payne and stuff, and we first started I joined the lab in the first place, and we started traveling more often, and little by little we all everyone on this channel and several others but beyond all started to get more serious about talking competitive HeroClix and playing competitive HeroClix. And for me, that was in that sort of gap period between the Flash and Trinity War. Like, that's kind of where I started to take this game seriously, as opposed to just having a good time with it. And I, not that I'm not going to having a good time with it. It's been a real ride for me. But that was just before Avengers Assembled dropped, which means to me that basically ID cards have been the staple of my entire competitive HeroClix experience, if not my entire HeroClix experience. And I really am going to miss them. I think that there's some I'm not going to miss, as that is always the case. And I think that I wish that there were some more controlled rules around them, and I kind of wish that they were more limited in some way. Like maybe you could only have 3 on your team or something, or any number of different things could be done. But I really appreciated having them as an enriching element of the game, and they were certainly they've been a crucial part of almost every team that I've played for years and years. So there's certainly some personal bias in that. But I really loved ID cards, and I think that it contributed more good than bad to the game, even though there was some of both, at least in my opinion. And a game without them is a competitive game that I'm not even sure what it looks like, because really, for as long as I've been taking this competitive side really seriously, almost all of it anyway, they've been there in one way, shape, or form or another. And so I'll miss you, ID cards. I'm fine to live in a world without them. I'm fine to live in a world of change, but it's a change that I think I'll feel pretty deeply. So just wanted to give a memorandum to the ID cards.
Mm-hmm.
I also realized that nobody mentioned Green Arrow somehow, which is weird.
It was one of my honorable mentions.
That's fair.
It was that or Red Tornado, and I thought Red Tornado was a more interesting.
Yeah, nobody's gonna care that you didn't mention Green Arrow. Whatever.
Quiet, you.
I think he's the only one who brought it up. So
Yeah,
Well,
it's interesting.
He gave me my Green Arrow.
It's interesting you saying that, Tom, because having played this game since essentially the beginning, I know when ID cards first came along, I was very resistant to them. I didn't like the fact that it was taking a lot of the game off the map. It felt like there was this whole extra thing. It felt like it was adding and complicating things, whatever. Obviously, I had to give in to them because they were prevalent. Meta teams were playing them. Successful teams were playing them, so you had to play them. So I got in the habit too. Like we were discussing recently, it's almost like you start building your teams 20 to 25
It was
points
one of my honorable mentions.
underbuilt because you're going to want to fill it with ID cards. So there is something about that. What's the right word? The comfortableness of that, which in a way is nice, but I'm happy that it's been taken away. I'm happy that now we can get back to maybe playing more on the map itself. I'm happy that we are mixing it up because it did start to feel really stale. Like every team was just being built to be ID battery type teams. So really, if that's the case, then we're only playing kind of with the same figures over and over again, right? The Cyclops, the Wolverine, for the shorter amount of time, Asgardian Storm, So much like you're saying, I have a bit of me that's sad to see them go because I've gotten used to them. It's part of the play style. I know there's going to be a bit of growing pains, as it were, coming out of it, but I'm happy to see it go, and we can maybe get back to the game taking place on the map. And I think in the short term, we might see a little bit of a stale meta, but I think this will actually take us to a more broad meta in the end.
I hope so.
All right. Yeah. Everything I was going to say in that regard was covered, so I want to take a second to thank our patrons over at patreon.com/marriedwithclix. You guys have been awesome, getting these guys a little bit in the interim, and keeping the lights on, as it were. Next patron hangout is going to be early April. I haven't quite got a date set on it just yet, but we're working on that. If you want to join in on the patron hangout, or the patron Discord for that matter, check it out at patreon.com/marriedwithclix. That note, okay, so I have lost all of our questions. Actually, I don't think we had any in the first chat, so to be honest, I think we just have one sitting on Facebook right now. But if you are watching live and you have a question, in big capital letters, question in the front of your question, so that it draws my attention faster.
We do have Discord.
We do have we have this stuff in the Discord, so the patron Discord has stuff. All right, cool, we'll do that. Because that's open. Yes, it is. All right, thank you, startup stuff. No wonder it takes my computer. Hey, how about that? All right. Just everything wants to run slow on my computer right now. It's kind of driving me nuts. I need some more upgrades because the graphics card was not enough. Here it is. Troll the Metal Lab. That's right. We have a channel called Troll the Metal Lab in our Discord. You can be a part of that. Just join any valuation. Come on.
It looks like there's only one question, but it actually got answered.
Oh, did it?
It was from David C, and he was just asking, are you considering that characters from outside the set can be used as part of team-ups? It feels like you're only considering in-set pairings.
No,
and then seconds later, Jay had made a comment about the Green Lantern, Kingdom Come Green Lantern. Yeah. So
I mean, you have to, because they didn't make a Superman in the set, did they?
No, not that I saw.
Not one you want to play.
No, they made some kind of some inferior man.
Oh, you know what? No, there was
the starter is actually really
Superman. This is Justice Lord Superman.
Yeah, there's Justice Lord Superman.
Right, but he's not Justice League, so you're basically always breaking your theme.
I do think it's weird, though, the set started with a number 2 common, though. I don't know what happened.
It was a weird call on that one.
A brave choice, I think.
He flew right by. He was faster than a speeding bullet. We didn't even see it.
All right. The Lord of Tai wants to know what we think of Darkseid. Have you guys seen Darkseid?
I have seen Darkseid.
He's either going to not matter, or he's going to be the most oppressive thing ever.
That's Tyler. That is Tyler, right?
I think so.
Wait, yeah, Ty Lord?
The Lord of Tai.
Yeah, that sounds like Tyler. Yeah.
I remember really liking him. Let me remind myself of why I felt that way. First of all, I love that his boom tube isn't a 1 per game. It's just so appropriate.
I'm just sick of attacking in the starting area. Like that could just not be a thing. Like
Yeah, that would
starting
be
now,
nice.
right?
That would be
Right?
nice.
We're all gonna stop playing Jason Wingard. I said it this time.
Thank
mean-
you, appreciate it.
Well, I mean, like he's not that easy to attack because isn't the farthest out you could go basically 6 and 6? Am I wrong?
I mean,
I guess you could
yeah.
go 12 straight. I guess that's also a possibility because it doesn't say you have to go, or does it? No.
Well, I mean, also depending on what, like, if you can play him on Ancient Hold, like, good luck getting anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, I certainly love him. I love he feels very much like Dark Side. I love the upfront 19 Invincible that gives way to the super Impervious. Holy, what an Impervious! And if you the way his defense style ramps up towards the end makes him real hard to finish off. I'm never excited about a piece that is 2/3 of my team because personally I don't love playing that style of super tentpole. But setting aside that little personal hang up, which is more about me than it is about the game, I think that he is very playable. And I think that he does some interesting stuff that no one else does. And because he's got the permanent boom tube thing, then he's very hard to pin down. Like if he just keeps getting away and then playing the range game, I think that there's potential there.
I think Mike's having horrible flashbacks to that one WKO, the Black Panther one.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Also, like Outwit-proof Mastermind is always nasty.
Well,
and
it
powerful.
just reiterates how happy I am to see Floras go away.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's some, but it's a 10-point cosmic character, so you could have theme with Darkseid, and he keeps masterminding off the Floras, who've actually healed off their starting click.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Jay's not oppressive enough. I mean, Darkseid's not oppressive enough.
You don't even know what I've been cooking up, man.
I can only imagine.
I can only imagine it's not fun in any way, shape, or form. To be playing against. I'm sure Jay has tons of fun. All right. Next up, Michael Fedor. This is more comment than question, but he's not happy about the current situation with a lot of canceled Heroclix tournaments. It's rough. I understand everybody.
Yeah, I agree.
It is brutal that a lot of play spaces are getting closed down, and it's very rough. But do understand, Roll20 is out there. And I do believe I finally have to kind of jump on the bandwagon and maybe help. Like Clixed does have a video explaining how to set it up. So if you want to check out their YouTube, look into that. I might work with Tom on setting up a video on how we're going to, or how to set it up, do like a live thing or something like that. Because I didn't set up our Roll20 for Married with Clix. A friend of the channel and one of our patrons helped me by taking it and doing it. So I learned nothing.
It's super not hard, and I really do.
Difficult, but yeah,
I really do think that we should start considering trying to do more organized local practice there, especially right now. There's never been a better time.
Oh, I'm so into that.
Yeah.
But also, it's worth noting that Rock is talking about doing more online events now, just because there will be a demand for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great.
Oh, and Mike shared in the chat, which is now on screen.
Yeah, I tried to send it in there, so hopefully that worked.
Yeah.
Well, that's good because then the audience can see it or whatever, right?
That's all right. Here we go. They get to see all of that nonsense. It's all theirs.
Hey, suggested video for the Metal Lab. Who knew? Maybe I'll check that out.
Anyhow, where are we at?
This is gonna be the most entertaining thing. We do actually have a question in the chat, and it comes from Rick Yell. He wants to know, when rotation happens, does the Immortal Hulk never see the map again?
I think that he's still very playable. You take away one tool in his arsenal for sure, but you also, I think he still has lots of other tools in his arsenal.
I don't understand the question because, he's 100 points to start off, so he can call in everything good. And he's hard to kill, but he has stats. Like if you asked me Kobik, very different story. But he's got printed 4 printed 4s?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And how is that? And also, he's losing ID cards, but so is everybody else. So it's just, and the tank is actually one of the better tools to deal with him because you can get past the stop. In fairness to Ricky's question,
Like it is valid. His ID game is on fleek. But
Tom, say it again because I want to hear you say the words "on fleek" one more time.
I'm just saying, like he's right. He is an ID beast. But that he certainly does enough else that I think that he's absolutely playable.
Mike,
I can't look at Tom the same.
do you dab or yeet it? We got to get with the kids, I guess.
I live with a teenager. Please, God, don't.
Oh, you kidding? This is how I stay relevant with the youth.
I want to watch Endgame with Tom just to see him do the dab at the same time that Hulk dabs.
Well,
I made her hate a favorite song the other day because I was doing a dance move, and she said I used to like that song.
Oh,
so yeah, I'm full on dad.
Well, welcome to that club. It's like, oh, dad likes it, not cool anymore.
Yeah, I was doing some Cardi B moves. Oh God.
I'm not sure I like it anymore.
Right. Just like Tom said, I agree that sure you lose a bit of bite by not having that whole wonderful ID call-in part of Hulk, but the game's coming back to the map, and you can't kill the guy right away. He's got great stats, and when you hurt his friends, he gets angry and starts charging at you for free. He's still a great figure, and yeah, you're still going to see him.
He's actually a tiny bit more fun to play against now because you can actually try to strategize a little more. Since at least if you leave him on his banner click, that he's got to do some work to get off of it. In the way that right now in the game, if you leave him there, then fine, he calls in Storm and kills you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, no IDs also makes him better because the best tool to deal with him is the influence ring, and it's just not easy to just blow that up anymore. So you just have a safe way to always have it. And I'm sure in his multitude of keywords, there's at least one other figure that's hard enough to deal with that you can equip it to and whatever, and you can just do the things.
All right. Anything else you guys wanted to add? Well, I'm just trying to adjust the description of the video here.
The night that everything fell apart.
Oh my God, this has been the worst technical night ever. Just to sneak behind the curtain while I wait for Facebook to load now. I switched.
Think there's any possibility that your computer has a virus?
Oh,
stop it.
Too soon?
It's
coronavirus.
I switched from classic OBS to Streamlabs OBS. And apparently Streamlabs OBS takes significantly more resources, even though the presentation is slightly better.
That is riveting.
Yeah, I know it's riveting, but it's taking everything out of my computer, and I'm trying to fix things in the back, which is what I usually do very quickly while you guys yammer on about things, or vamp for me, as the terminology goes. But I'm going to wrap this up, and I'll fix the description after the fact. So, yeah, Tom, Mike, Jay, thanks for hanging on for me while I turned off the computer by accident.
Turned off the Steam Labs ODB. And
after you treeped and the wire got unhooked?
After the Floral Colossal broke everything. This is your fault, Jay.
Usually the Floral Colossus breaks itself, but at times.
Yeah, normally it just falls over, but Jay always manages to keep his erect.
Jay's always
Good night, everybody!
All right, on that, thanks everybody for watching. Thank you guys for helping me out on this. Sorry for the technical issues. I want to take a second to thank our sponsors over at MajesticCCG.com. Join the Apex Insiders. Check out the most recent article that Amber put up. Why does everybody love the new Prime Batman that's coming around the corner? We saw the front of his card from Gamma. We also saw the front of Reed Richards' cards, Dr. Richards, rather. Reed Richards in Dr. Doom's outfit. I'm excited, and I love him, and he makes Doombots, which means Doombot's confirmed. So check out MajesticCCG.com/Apex-Insiders. $3 a month gets you great brains helping you out in the game of Heroclix. Also, check us out at patreon.com/MarriedWithClix so that I can get more RAM for my computer to operate things a little better. Without further ado, guys, I know it's hard right now. We're all stuck inside. We're all, trying to stay away from each other. But there is a place you can go that is Roll20. Practice some games, get some teams together, throw some little pictures on there, and get some practice. Because practice will make your teams better and will help you through this. Have a good night, everybody. Oh, and there's